why did I start looking at Bitcoin? Well, I'd ignored it for so long because I was sat at my desk brokering foreign exchange, the real money, guys. Like, internet geek money. What is this all about? Like, there's all
you
of
guys
these,
just don't know what you're talking about.
no, shadowy super coders like sitting in basements somewhere thinking they can make like money. Like, what you can't just invent money. This is ridiculous. We already have the dollar and the euro and whatever else. Like, how many touch points did you need to realize that your mind was completely upside down? I was sat on dollar mark. This is where I started. Foreign exchange, spot markets. So before I moved across to options, I was on the spot markets. And that means basically the deal is just done there and there. It's not like 1 month out to 1 year. It's boom, spot on the spot, basically. And that was dollar mark, and that was the biggest market. The US dollar against the Deutschmark was the most widely traded currency by an absolute country mile. The second was dollar yen. And all of a sudden, flick of a pen, Deutschmarks don't exist anymore. Nor do French francs, nor do Belgian francs, nor do Dutch guilders, nor do Spanish pesetas, nor does Greek drachma, nor does Italian lira, nor does the Portuguese escudo, nor does the Irish pound. Gone. And I saw all of that happen obviously as a young trainee, and I saw people lose their jobs left, right, and center. And I didn't question for 1 second, like, how did all of these fiat currencies, didn't even know what fiat currency meant, how did all of this currency just go to zero? I didn't even think about the 65-year-old guy that had been working in Spain or France or Belgium or Holland his whole life to protect his family. All of a sudden, what he'd worked for his whole life got changed overnight to a different unit of account. I lived through that and I didn't question it. And in comes the euro, the all-conquering euro, right? Yeah, it's all right, guys. We got you. We're going to have the euro. And that gets priced, goodness knows how, in the different countries. You can't imagine the political jockeying that was going on between the different heads of state at that time on how to reprice people's life's savings and pensions, and what they're just getting turned over by bureaucrats. And then if you fast forward to when I left, I'm sitting there, ignored Bitcoin for probably 2 to 3 years because I just thought, no, it was absolutely ridiculous. You can't make money out of thin air, yada, yada, yada. Didn't look into it. But then when I did leave and I was pushed into a corner by my own doing to find a store of value, I'd done all the other stuff. I had funds. I had physical gold, physical silver. I thought I was doing everything right. Thought I was being very prudent, even though I was quitting my career and taking my kids out of school, traveling. I still thought I was doing all the right things with regards to trying to store wealth. And sure enough, as I kept on learning about, how do we store value, I was following Real Vision in the very early days because Grant Williams was a friend of mine from Singapore and he was co-founder. And they started bringing people on about Bitcoin. And I saw interviews back in 2015, it must have been, with Tour de Mista, Trace Mayer, Wences Casares. Then I just got hungrier and started looking for more, found on Andreas Antonopoulos. And, there wasn't much around in those days, but it all started clicking for me. It's like, oh shit, this is something completely different here. And this is something I need to take a lot closer attention to. So now if we fast forward to today, and just 3 days ago, I believe it was, where Christine Lagarde has made an announcement about the euro going to the digital euro and how they want to push that out by October or something ambitious. You're watching it all play out again. So the euro came in to be a currency across the continent 1st of January 1999. So here we are, just over 25 years later. and they're going to replace it. It doesn't look like it's being replaced because it's still going to be called the euro, but it's going to be called the digital euro. They're literally, what they're doing is completely destroying the euro, which completely destroyed all of those other fiat currencies. How many, I don't know how, probably a century at least had the French franc been around, the guilder, the peseta, the Belgian franc, centuries probably. And they were gone overnight. Now you've got the euro. That's not even lasted 26 years. Now they're going to take it to digital. So they're just absolutely doing the same thing again, destroying what they created to create something new again, to perpetuate this fiat Ponzi scheme and to enslave people even further, because it's all going to be digital and on your phone and it's for your safety, but it's going to be programmable money that will expire and you'll only be able to spend it on certain things and taxed at, point of earning it or spending it. So,
or on unrealized gains.
Yeah. So it's very, very concerning and something that people really need to be aware of and awake to, and figure out, why Bitcoin is different and what they can do to start protecting themselves against the inevitability of, how many times do these people need to prove to you that they are willing to do whatever it takes, by any means necessary, to enrich themselves and completely rug pull nations on the currencies and the value that they've managed to accrue over their careers.
It is wild, that, isn't it? Thinking back to when the euro was first created, and even today, are you able to say where you're now based?
Yeah, we're in Southeast England at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. And so so you were in Singapore, you traveled the world. I know you spent a lot of time in France, now back in the UK, which is obviously no longer part of the European Union, basically every sense. And there are a number of problems that have cropped up as a result of that. But it's just a mess, isn't it? The whole thing. You've got very clear nation states working with a monetary union. Who is the European Central Bank? Who are those guys? And I completely agree. The precedent's there. If they want to just tear it up and start again because it suits them, then they're going to do it. And equally, some stuff in the news recently, trusted or not, about rearmament. Okay, right. Where's this all going? Right? It's they're going to finance weapons. Surprise, surprise, and they're going to stealth tax the population with inflation through programmable money in order to do that. It's just a same playbook but slightly different solution.